Hey everyone, this is Blickcam Gamer. Welcome to honestly, what I feel to be the last part of Sonic Riders. In the last part, I finished off the last 3 gameplay showings of the 3 characters I had yet to beat races with. Those being Robo 1, and the remaining guest characters, I and Ulala. So like I said, and so I basically, honestly, there's really not much to say here based on what's left. I already mentioned mission mode. Tag mode is basically where you pair up with another character, but honestly, I think we'll honestly do that. Just to make up for all the failings of the last part, I'll just choose Shadow. So basically the idea of tag mode is that you get to share basically an air restrictor thing with an AI partner or your friend, and you have to stay close to that partner, because if you get too far ahead, you'll end up falling behind. Even though... See, so it's not like I can do anything, really. Yeah, and if you go too far ahead, then you'll get electrocuted. Which is definitely a problem when playing with AI. Though, I'm sure that if you play with friends, it'll definitely make for a very interesting mode. Oh, but it's also kind of a pain when the AI is way too far ahead of you. The opposing AI, to be precise. And because you have to stay close to them, it's not like you can go up and attack them and jet far ahead. Oh, perfect. Oh, wait, we're in first now. Oh, I also learned that, which I honestly just figured out a few seconds ago, is that if you just hold the L or R buttons without drifting, you can slow down your speed. Alright, just gotta stick by Tails. Yeah, so basically you share an entire air canister with either your friend or your AI partner. And that's pretty much tag mode. It's honestly a pretty interesting mode. It's a little antsy when you're playing with the AI, but it's very fun if you have 3 friends to show. So I basically want to show that off. And let's see, in the survival mode is, let's see, there are 2 different survival modes. One is getting a Chaos Emerald when passing through the gates while carrying it within a time limit hit. And then the other is basically battle mode, which I've heard is not very good. And honestly, I played it when I was younger, and I gotta confess, it really isn't that good. I don't play as... Oh wait, I can only play as... In that case, I'll just go with Jet. So, let's see if I can try to get through this, because honestly, I've not played the race battle in survival mode yet. So unlike regular races, there's a time limit and you're only racing against 4 other people. And for me, it's all Oh, I get it. So basically you hold on to the Chaos Emerald, you lose air much faster. You lose air much faster when holding onto the Chaos Emerald, and I think what's supposed to happen is that you have to get through these rings. Okay, so basically you lose the Chaos Emerald. Wait, did anyone get it? Oh, I missed Rouge. No, wait, I have it. I think the idea is that you have to get through these rings in a certain time limit. Okay, so it turns out that you don't lose any air when you don't have the Chaos Emerald. And I missed it. How did Knights take it from me? So I think the idea is that as far as I know, you have to get... Oh, shit. Okay. So the idea is that you have to get the Chaos Emeralds through these rings, and the first 1 to 5 wins, or whoever has the most in 15 minutes, but honestly... Yeah, sorry Rouge, not happening. And that's pretty much it. Gotta say, for my first outing with this, it's honestly relatively fun. So, let's see. And then, like I said, here's the shop if you want to see what it looks like. But like I said, I pretty much already bought every extreme gear that there is in the game. So there's really no point in going over it. So, the only things that are left to do is to show off the extras in the options menu. Well, let's just go through the option menu. So the audio setting, you can choose between Dolby Pro Logic, stereo, and monorail. I really don't know what the difference is. And then rumble setting, basically if you want to have it on or off. And then the language setting, you can set it to English, I don't know what that is, Japanese, French, Dutch, Spanish, or Italian. Let's see, text. And then the game data is basically just changing the game files if you made any. So honestly, there's not much there is to it. And then the only things that's left is the extras. So let's see. So let's go down here. First is basically the records, which basically shows off the best times that you have in Grand Prix. And it looks like my off-screen with Rouge, I established a new time for Metal Cities World Grand Prix and Egg Factory. And that's about it. And I can't really tell the difference because I beat the Grand Prix with Robo 2. And then this is all of my times for free race. And I guess my pretend beating Green Force as the Grand Prix of Shadow was actually a new track record. And the same thing for Amy when I practiced it with the Magic Carpet. And also with II2. Alright. And then time attack, my best times. Oh yeah, I did the same thing with Ooh La La. Alright, and then that's roughly it for the records. So and then here's the gear gallery, which basically shows all the boards that you unlock. So, let's see. So this is the Blue Star Sonics board by Robotnik Corporation Speed Type Air board. like I've been saying before, if Eggman's corporation was the one who built the board, then Tails didn't really customize it. Speaking of Tails, there's his board, the Yellow Tail. There's Knuckles' board, Red Rock. Oh, they all have colors. Blue Star, Yellow Tail, Red Rock. And here's Amy's board for the Pink Rose. Speed type for women. And Amy's the only one that has access to it. Here's the Type J, that's Jet's board, which was the Babylon Standard designed by Wave. And the same thing for Storm's board, the Type S, and Wave's board, the Type W, of which Wave made herself. Let's see. Temptation is Rouge's board, also by the Robotnik Corporation for women. Oh, the Smile, which is Cream's board, Robotnik Corporation flight type for kids. Huh. And then a lot of the boards that I unlocked are basically boards that I talked about before, where basically they have different attributes, where, like this board, for example, the High Booster, which has a pretty good boosting ability, but causes up a lot of air, and every character has access to it except Eggman. Same thing for the Auto Slider, which basically is a board where you don't have to press L or R to slide. Even the slightest tip of the control stick left or right will cause your character to automatically drift. The Powerful Gear, Heavy Gear, works well even on poor roads. It is a board that you get from getting all the junk parts that you get from mission mode to build these boards, so you don't really unlock them in the shop. And the same thing for the Fastest, which has the best top speed, but from what it looks of it, no boost really. And then Turbo Star's another case. Accelerates quickly to achieve top speed. Speed Bouncer performs well on straight roads, which sounds promising, but in truth, the Speed Bouncer sucks. Because I tried it with Shadow when I was younger, and it was not good at turning. But I guess it implies it's only good on straight roads. There's the Blue Star 2, which is also for Sonic, and yet by Robotnik Corporation, even though Tails was the one who prepped it. Alright, next is the Access. This gear allows any character that can utilize skill to fly. So basically all of the speed and power characters except for Eggman. Oh, if you're hearing it's raining outside. Let's see, next is the Beginner, which is basically a beginner board, which basically doesn't really consume a lot of air when boosting, so that definitely helps. We got a lot of boards to get through, but I have another 10 minutes. Alright, next, the Accelerator. Speed boost enhanced, so it's really good for boosting. The Trap Gear can execute unlimited tornadoes, and it's the only way to boost with this board, because whenever I use this board, the B button doesn't work. But that's only because, since it has unlimited turbo boost, you can spam the hell out of L and R. Let's see, light board, gear with the lightest weights. Honestly, I don't really see any negative benefactors. Slide booster can execute consecutive slides. I honestly don't remember trying this board, but I don't remember fondly. Legend has high level air ability. Didn't honestly know if it tries, I don't know if it's good or not. The Magic Carpet is basically the same thing as the Excess, except we unlock it from beating the Babylon story mode, so I honestly don't really see any difference. The Air Broom is the board that basically allows flight and power characters, of course except Eggman, to basically grind on rails. The Hovercraft, here it's said to be used on a grand adventure. Spoiler alert, it sucks, because it is really shitty at turning. There's even the slightest tilt of the control stick and you fly all over the place. Faster, top speed enhanced, so it's like the Fastest, only slightly slower. Gambler, gear used by Legendary Gambler. I honestly don't know if there's any negative side effects. Power Gear, which is enhanced power endurance. I honestly don't see what the difference is. I suppose for this board, it basically enhances the power moves of crashing into objects for the speed and flight characters, I'm assuming. Opa Opa, basically the things we saw in Sega Illusion, except it's also used as a board too. Here holds Night Soul for attack. The Crazy Taxi transformed into a hoverboard. This gear uses rings instead of air, making it very unique. Then here's Knight's board, Night Sky, from Twin Seeds, only for a Nightmare. Banana is what Ai's board is called. And it wasn't made, it was found on Jungle Island. And then Robo 2's board, the E-Gear G, which I actually just now realized the G stands for green and the R stands for red, so I'm basically an idiot. Enhanced E10000G or Robo 2 production model. Enhanced 10000R or Robo 1 high-end gear. Oh yeah, like I said, there's a non-available one. That's basically for a gear to unlock Supersonic. But like I said, I'm not going to torture myself for unlocking it. Let's see. Then there's Ulala's board. Channel 5 exclusive only for reporters. The Berserker, said to be used by a legendary knight. And when you're on those sections where you have to turn the control stick to regain air, there's no such thing with this board, so you have to be lucky with air canisters or air fuels costing you the race. Alright, E-Rider, high performance but turns too much air, basically for every character except for Ulala and the Robo 1 and 2. Air Tank has basic attributes but hacks too much air, basically a mini scooter. Heavy Bike, heaviest gear in existence, and basically enhances all power. Destroyer is basically a drill runner. This gear grants characters power, so basically every speed and flight characters except Robo 1 and Ulala can use this. And the Omnipotence Super Gear, all skills granted to characters. So basically this gear allows every character to have all its attributes. So for example, if you're playing as Sonic, you will not only have access to grind rails, but you can also fly through rings and crash into objects. Alright. Cover speed, speed type enhance, accelerates and endurance, basically a moped. Cover F, same thing but with flight, and cover P, same thing but with power. Hang on, collector's gear, it has great value and super hang on. These two bikes basically change the musics to old Sega arcades. I'm not really sure what they are, but basically it's a nice attribute to change the music. Darkness by Robotnik Corp. Skate burns less air, which I guess it explains why this is Shadow's go-to board. The Grinder Skates basically allows flight and power characters to grind on rails with the exception of Ulala. Advantage S, speed type custom plus accelerating top speed for speed. Advantage F, same thing but for flight characters. And Advantage P, same thing for power, but for power characters for endurance and power. And then lastly, the Cannonball can execute constant boots. I haven't really tried it, but it looks like Ulala can use it. And those are basically all the gears. Like I said, there is that one gear that I don't have unlocked, but since it's the only way to unlock Supersonic, I'm not going to torture myself into doing that. And then the audio room basically plays all the music from the game, from the main theme, from the opening to the to Team Sonic's theme, to the Babylon theme, all the stage music for all the stages in the game, the events played in all the story modes, like in the opening cutscene, when Tails explains about the Babylons. I assume hold on. Okay, that's displayed in the cutscene when Jet uses the Chaos Emeralds to unlock Babylon Garden. And then when the real treasure... And then this is basically the menu music for options. And what we've been hearing. I honestly don't know what that is. Oh, theme for survival battles. Okay, so I wouldn't know. And then finally is the theater. The only things that I've shown are the opening, the insert, the ending, and the title. But let's go over that tutorial that I talked about, because like I said, this game doesn't do a really good job of it. But I'm basically going to try it in the voice of Linkara's 90s kid voice. So I want to see how this turns out. I got a few minutes, let's do it. Dude! Learning the basics of Sonic Riders! Sonic Riders is a new type of racing game! And catch up with rivals by riding on their turbulence! Instead, turbulence! Turbulence also has other benefits, so take full advantage of them, even though we're not going to explain how they work. Perform tricks when you see the arrow. Oh, but we can't really explain all that. You'll have to figure that for yourself. For the air system, press the B button to boost. But be careful, it consumes a lot of air. But that's only for the basic boards, since you'll have to find out the learning curve with other boards. Use tight corners with the control stick and R button. This allows you to navigate short turns effectively. Drop a tornado when rivals are closing in by pressing the L and R button, even though you'll never really use them, to try to trap them momentarily, so it makes more sense than just bumping into them. But don't use it too often, otherwise you'll run out of air, even though it uses more air. So perform tricks to avoid using air. Here, you can gain air by using advantage by holding the A button right at the top of the ramp and jump. Even your trick ranking determines the amount of air you gain, even though we don't tell you that the control stick is the other way to use it. Figure out the timing on the countdown in order to get as much air as possible. And finally, the type of skills. Jump using the A button for speed type to land on rails, even though some tracks only have one rail where you can't do it twice. For the flight type, use the down and up button to boost yourself in the air. And finally, the power type knocks down obstacles on the track, even though we don't tell you that it's inverted. Now are you ready? Get ready for the challenge and let the race begin! Even though you'll probably have to figure most of this out on your own! I gotta admit that was pretty fun to do. So yeah, like I said, there's really nothing else left that I can really mention about this game. So yeah, I had a blast showing off this game. It was nice showing off all the stuff, and that's pretty much it. So with that, my Let's Play of Sonic Riders comes to a close, and I will see you guys either on the next Let's Play or hopefully the next MLP review. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.